Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Alright, so we got this from XRP_Crow here on Twitter. These are some of the exchanges that will participate in a distribution of your FLR Spark tokens, guys. So if you're still waiting for those Spark tokens and you did custody on an exchange, here are the exchanges again, a list of some of them that are going to be airdropping, or I guess there's some confirmation here that these guys are going to participate in that airdrop. I know some of these exchanges at a point said that they were going to participate in this. They were committed to airdropping your Spark tokens, but since that point in time, it seems like forever ago, some of these cryptocurrency exchanges have actually gone bankrupt. So here are just a list of some of the, I guess, bigger exchanges that are still around. It will be 50 plus exchanges, and apparently a complete list. You can go here. There's a link in this tweet, flare.xyz/exchanges from the Flare network specifically. So Uphold, Binance, just to name a few of the bigger ones. Poloniex, Bittrex, KuCoin, OKX. We got Coin1 here, Coinfield in Canada, Bitso, eToro, BitThumb, BitTrue, just to name a few. Bitstamp is another big one, Kraken again, and of course Coinbase right down here. So, you know, a lot of these exchanges fairly large. And again, if you guys are wondering about a full list, you can just click here on this link. I will link this tweet in the description of the video. Moving along, just wanted to talk about Ripple partner Temenos and their partnership with Wipro. They got together, guys, to accelerate digital transformation in banking. So we know Temenos is that back-end provider. Has been running on RippleNet since 2016, and now have been trying to onboard a lot of their clients to become future-ready for the new standard. And Wipro Limited, this is just the latest. They just expanded their partnership with Temenos to help banks of every size accelerate their modernization journey. This expanded partnership will enable banks across varying scales to accelerate their go-to-market strategies in regions including the US, the UK, and Australia. Incumbent banks have to contend with complex legacy technology that can include multiple core capabilities, disparate systems, and product silos. Combining Temenos' open platform for composable banking with Wipro's deep technical expertise and industry insights, the two companies will deliver large-scale transformations from front-end digital capabilities to back-end transactional processing, helping banks complete their digital-first journey through an accelerated modernization timeline and increased efficiency in daily operations. And even just with regards to this quote here, the DNA of banking is changing to be more open, agile, and collaborative. And so by partnering with companies like Wipro, we can help banks unlock the full potential of our composable banking platform. The fact that they are even saying this, the DNA of banking is changing, that I think speaks volumes. They don't talk about the ISO 20022 standard in this article specifically, but that is going to play a huge part in this. Great to see a Ripple-enabled company, though, be very successful at onboarding these banks. Temenos has a lot of clients. They are a big company. It's great to hear that news. I mean, when I got into the XRP community, I heard it, I think it wasn't until 2018 that I knew that such a big company was Ripple-enabled, but they had done that back in 2016. Nevertheless, still great news here. We're continuing to see the onboarding occur. Wipro, just the latest Ripple-enabled partner through Temenos, so I thought that was great. Wanted to bring this up also, guys, by XRP Crypto Wolf here on Twitter. So this has to do with legislation in the US specifically. We heard that stablecoins were going to kind of be the first to be legislated, I think, in the US. They were going to focus on stablecoins because I think, stablecoins are going to be an important part of this financial structure. But now we're getting news of this, okay? So Maxine Waters, she just made this official. The stablecoin bill in the US has officially been delayed past August. Representative Maxine Waters has formally shifted the negotiation until after the summer congressional recess, she said in a statement. So this just has to do with, I guess, their scheduling. The legislation that could establish U.S. regulations for stablecoins has formally been delayed until after the August congressional break. And here's a quote: "Although the ranking member, Patrick McHenry, Secretary Janet Yellen, and I have made considerable progress towards an agreement on the legislation, we are unfortunately not there yet and will therefore continue our negotiations over the August recess," Waters said in a statement. "I look forward to coming to an agreement in the near future and marking up bipartisan legislation when we return." The bipartisan effort in which the panel's top Republican, Representative McHenry, has also had a leading role was already delayed this week after Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen insisted that the legislation include further protections for crypto investors. The Treasury Department won't endorse the bill unless it also ensures the industry exchanges keep their money separate from the company's assets, which I think is likely a very prudent move, which would protect them if the firms fail, the people said. So still some work to do here. We are getting the Oh, that's a terrible photo of her. We are getting the, what was I going to say? We're getting there slowly but surely. Again, stablecoin's going to be the first that are going to be regulated, but then there's going to be all the other coins, and there's the debacle with the SEC, and how much regulation can we realistically place on certain cryptocurrencies? Yes, I get it. If a company held an ICO, maybe those particular cryptocurrencies should be regulated differently than companies who did not hold an ICO. Utility coins are going to be different than coins like Bitcoin, who basically have no utility, that are basically a store of value, so on and so forth. So there are a lot of complexities here. I think, though, with stablecoins, they really get that these particular coins are so much similar. Plus, they want, a framework for central bank digital currencies as well. And so a stablecoin is the closest thing to a central bank digital currency. So I get why they want to, hit the stablecoins first. These are going to play an important role moving forward. But in the US, looks like legislation, or at least talks of negotiation, are going to be happening after the summer break. So just thought I'd bring that to you. Wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf for mentioning that. Also, this one, guys, from Michael Branch here on Twitter with regards to education in crypto. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but back in 2018, Brad Garlinghouse said, the biggest problem right now is getting the banks to really understand why they need to use RippleNet, because right now, their systems are working perfectly fine. And I think over the years, especially since the pandemic, a lot of these banks have come to realize, okay, now everything is different. More people are working from home. There are more people, sending payments globally. There are more people conducting business globally and also purchasing products. More people purchasing products from companies overseas. So, a lot of these banks are now seeing a need to be able to convert a lot more currency than they had once done. And it was the education. Brad Garlinghouse said, a lot of what we were doing back in 2017 and 2018 was educating these banks on why they need a better mousetrap, why they can't and shouldn't rely on the old system. Swift at that time, they were fairly cocky, thinking that they were the best and only game in town. Well, enter RippleNet, and Ripple has obviously proven them wrong. And so Michael's bringing this up, guys. Education in crypto payments specifically will spark mass adoption. And this coming from Checkout.com executive Jess Houlgrave mentioned that traditional companies are hesitant to integrate crypto because of misinformation and regulatory concerns. But this, guys, is all going to change. While many businesses have expressed interest in integrating crypto payments, there are still changes in terms of understanding the space, says Jess Houlgrave, again, the head of crypto strategy at Checkout.com. Speaking to Cointelegraph, Houlgrave talked about the benefits and challenges of accepting crypto for merchants and shared her thoughts on what can spark and further the mainstream adoption of crypto payments. Houlgrave said that the integration of crypto payments results in an increase in security, speed, and efficiency. As we know, it could replace traditional payment systems that are plagued with middlemen, high fees, payment delays, and fraud risks, she stated. Along with the benefits, Houlgrave highlighted that there are also challenges for businesses in terms of understanding how to account for accepting crypto, learning how to secure custody for crypto profits, managing price volatility, and applying for a tax credit. So a lot of this is going to be resolved by, I think, a new crop of accountants coming up, a new generation of accountants understanding cryptocurrency better. I think if you're getting into accounting, cryptocurrency is probably first and foremost. If you can specialize, is probably going to be up there on the list. If you can specialize in crypto accounting, I think eventually one day every accountant will have to know about cryptocurrency. But, within the next 5 years or so, you could probably get a lot of business if you know a lot about cryptocurrency as an accountant. Also, just understanding cryptocurrency in general, I think a lot of this is going to be beneficial for a lot of these businesses, because as we are seeing, businesses need to learn about this. And also, having these types of products like credit cards that can, directly tap into your crypto holdings and convert your money to fiat dollars, well, then you don't really have to think about the crypto end of it. You can just pay. You can choose which crypto you want to pay with. And so if you're holding crypto, you want to use that crypto for payments, well, there should already be these types of tools to allow the end user to do so seamlessly and to not make it so cumbersome for the business. So here is the quote: increasingly, merchants are accepting crypto payments via a third party who will convert to and settle in fiat so that the merchant doesn't bear price volatility risk versus their expenses. So exactly what I just said. Apart from these, the payment executive noted that among the financial officers that they've talked with in one of their firm's recent surveys, the primary reason for not accepting crypto with their company is regulatory uncertainty surrounding the space. So again, just going back to this whole stablecoin debate, this is going to be the first step in crypto regulation in the US. These companies are worried about regulatory clarity, so we need to get a move on, obviously, if we want to get integration happening sooner rather than later. In this regard, Houlgrave mentioned that there's also a lot of misinformation in the space, and that educating large players will be crucial for them to adopt crypto as a payment method. She said, by educating these larger players about the advantages and use cases of crypto, we can shift the needle, especially for those who can incorporate crypto into their businesses in a meaningful way. So all this, guys, all this is going to play a huge role in crypto adoption. And again, baby steps, slowly but surely we are going to get there. I almost kind of feel like we are at a disadvantage now because we feel so confident in cryptocurrency. We know a lot about this technology and, we're just kind of painfully waiting for people to catch up with us. The benefit to that is that we can purchase cryptocurrencies at a discount when everybody seems to be still worried that, cryptocurrency is a scam, blah, 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 blah. Well, we can decide to down cost average on some of our positions. And I'm still eyeing some of those WEF coins, Algorand naming one of them, Cardano's ADA as well. My XRP position fairly robust now, so I'm just waiting for my targets in order to cash that out. Anyway, wanted to thank Michael Branch here on Twitter just for posting that. With regards to technology, this video has been a lot about technology, a lot about the future of finance. I saw this the other day, guys, from Attack Titan here on Twitter at the Glibberman00. Now, this was from the World Economic Conference they had in Davos back at the end of May, and they were talking about quantum computing. And could quantum computing actually obliterate the encryption that is the cornerstone to Bitcoin? And could that have an effect on other cryptocurrencies? So Attack Titan posted this clip here. Did anyone inform the WEF that we are going to be using Bitcoin and Ethereum as the global standards? Well, I don't know if we're going to be using those two particular cryptocurrencies, but anyway, just listen to this clip. It's about 1 minute and 14 seconds. Here it is.
If we get these quantum computers within the next decade, will that smash apart the entire current system of encryption in the current world? That's what everyone really wants to know right now. And will the whole promise behind Bitcoin and DeFi collapse as a result? You each have 1 minute to answer that, and I want to freaky.
So I'll give you bad news and good news. The bad news is, yes, quantum computers break the RSA and ECC encryption standards that we all use today. So, RSA has had a good run. 1978 till today, 40 plus years, pretty good run for a tech standard. I think we'd all agree. But we now have to transition from RSA, the current standard, to the post-RSA quantum safe. And here's the good news, Gillian, I want to share, which is that the world bodies, the countries, about 40 countries, got together about 6 years ago, recognizing this issue, came together in an open process with academics, industry partners, and governments, and said, we've got to find a set of standards that are quantum safe. And this past January, just a few months ago, they completed the core of their work. That's why this panel today is so timely, because just in 3 weeks from today, we'll get the first 2 of those standards coming out of these government bodies.
So an interesting little clip here coming out of the World Economic Forum. I don't know who this gentleman is, but the idea of quantum computing going to essentially abolish the old encryption standard. We know that organizations like the World Economic Forum do not like the rogue currencies. However, they are interested in the cryptocurrencies that are going to solve problems, namely, the XRPs of the world, XLM, Algorand, just to name a few. So, and, at the end of this clip, he was saying there are countries that have gotten together and they are already actively looking to move on to a new standard. So I'm feeling fairly confident XRP, the XRPL, is not going to be vulnerable. But then I happen to see this just by coincidence. The XRP Club here posted this question to Joel Katz, Brad Garlinghouse, and Viets Vin. A question I have is the XRPL quantum proof. Can it be hacked by a quantum computer or a quantum artificial intelligence, or AI? Bitcoin and the others are at risk, correct? Thank you. And David Schwartz actually responded to this. XRPL is not quantum resistant. It could be made so, but with the present mechanisms we have, the result would kind of suck because the quantum resistant algorithms we know of all have painful disadvantages in blockchain applications. My current thinking is that we monitor the state of the art carefully and implement the best quantum resistant algorithms whenever the risk looks to be within about 5 years of materializing. I don't think we are there yet though. Cold wallets that hold only XRP and have never performed a transaction are already quantum resistant. So that's an interesting point as well. Also, if you disable the master key and set a new regular key, your account is quantum resistant until you perform another transaction, and then you could change it again. So some interesting points here by David Schwartz. Technically, if you change your key after every single transaction, technically your XRP wallet is in fact quantum resistant. Of course, that would be a bit of a headache, and his thinking is that they can always make the XRPL quantum resistant. So it is not today. However, they do not need it based on, the technology, the state-of-the-art technology today just isn't up to snuff. But as this WEF speaker has mentioned, countries around the world are already looking into this. They've already come up with a standard. David Schwartz even says that they can make the XRPL quantum resistant. It is just going to be a matter of time before it is, which all just solidifies the point that XRP is going to be the future for payments, and it'll be very difficult for quantum computing to crack the XRPL. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.